This program is rated suitable for general family viewing.
Hello guys, my name is Antonina from Baked by Nina. Welcome to the Throwdown. Today we are at Pneumatic Kitchen Studio and we are going to be making vanilla funfetti cupcakes. So to make the cupcakes, you will need sugar, baking powder, margarine, vanilla essence, funfetti, and cupcake holders, eggs, flour. You will also need a weighing scale and a cupcake tray where we are going to bake from. So let's begin. The first thing we are going to begin with is preheating our oven. And we are going to be using the 7-function oven from Pneumatic. And they also have the normal oven, but the 3-function oven. And we are going to preheat our oven at 150 degrees and set it with the heat on top and below and preheat it for around 10 to 20 minutes. The next thing, we are going to weigh the sugar. Turn on your weighing scale and we are going to weigh 175 grams of sugar. Make sure that it is accurate. And then next we are going to add in the margarine, still the same quantity, 175 grams. Once you're done, set that aside and we are going to use a hand mixer, sorry. You can also use a whisk depending on what you have. And we are going to mix until they are well incorporated for about 4 or 5 minutes. So once you've creamed for about 1 or 2 minutes, use a scraper to scrap the margarine that's on the side so that you make sure they're all mixed up and nothing is left aside. So continue mixing. Make sure you mix until you have a fluffy consistency with the butter and the sugar. Beat for another 1 more minute and we'll be done. And now the mixture is ready. Next, we are going to be adding in eggs, and we are going to need 4 medium-sized eggs, and we are going to add one at a time. Once you've added the egg, beat in until also well incorporated. Repeat until you're done adding all the eggs. Once you're done adding all the eggs, next we are going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla essence. You can use any essence, but since we are making the vanilla fanfetti cupcakes, we are going to be using vanilla essence. So add a teaspoon. And mix it in. After everything is well incorporated, next we are going to be adding in the flour. So for the flour, we have 200 grams of it, and in this we are going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. After you've added the baking powder, we are going to sieve in the flour into the cake mixture. You need to sieve the flour so that you avoid having lumps. So sieve the flour together with the baking powder. You'll begin by adding. You can add in small quantities as you mix in, so that it becomes well incorporated. So you can do this in batches until all the flour and baking powder is done. Mix and mix until they blend in perfectly. So that was the last batch, and mix. We are going to mix until we can't see the flour anymore, and that's when you'll know that the batter is ready. Also, I would highly recommend you use a scraper once you start adding in the flour instead of using a mixer to avoid over mixing the batter. We are going to, after we've added the last bunch, make sure you mix until no flour is visible, but also make sure you do not overmix. the batter. So our batter is ready, and the last thing we're going to be adding is the funfetti. You can use as much as you want. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon, and then gently mix them in. Also make sure you do not overmix. And that's it. Our vanilla cupcake batter is ready. So next, we are going to, you need the baking tray, the cupcake baking tray that you are going to use in the oven. And you also need cupcake holders. We are going to align them on the tray, one by one. You can use any cupcake holders. You can get them in any baking shop in Nairobi or anywhere. Once you've laid the baking cups, we are going to fill them 3/4. Do not fill them too much, so that we avoid overflowing once you're baking. So gently add in the batter until it's slightly above halfway. Repeat this for all until they are all filled up. Make sure you fill in well. Do not leave any spaces. One by one until we're done. We're going to scrap this so that no butter will remain in our baking tin. Continue filling them. I'm going to fill in the last one. And we are almost done. Adding this one to the last one. So you're going to add in the last batch. As you've seen for this cake batter, it has given us 12 cupcakes. So if you need to make 12 cupcakes, the quantities that you used will give you exact 12 cupcakes. Okay, next we are going to bake them in the oven at 150 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes. We had already preheated our oven, so we are going to place them inside gently. And we are going to set at 25 minutes. Once they're ready, you're going to know they're ready. They'll start browning on top. And we shall check them after 25 minutes. Once the cupcakes are ready, you're going to switch off the temperature knob. And also for the baking, I would recommend you use the one with the fan and the heat regulation that is from up and down. We're going to switch it off as well. And our cupcakes are ready. We're going to gently remove them. Once the cupcakes are out of the oven, remove them from the baking tray immediately. This is to avoid the cupcakes from continuing to bake since the baking tray is hot. So set them up at your kitchen counter. We are going to set this aside. So we are going to place the cupcakes, align them on your kitchen counter or wherever you're going to work on them. And we are going to leave this to cool until they are at room temperature. As they are cooling, we are going to whip the whipping cream. It is chilled whipping cream, and I had placed a bowl together with the whisks, beaters, so that they could chill. The importance of using chilled cream, it will stabilize faster than cream that is on room temperature. So we are going to attach our beaters and we are going to add in our cream to the chilled bowl. And we are going to whip this until it is stable. Once the cream has started to become firm, at this point you can add the color of your choice. But we're not going to be using any color, so we'll just proceed beating until it's firm. Now, as you can see, our cream is stable. You can also bend the tin and it does not pour. It tells you that it is ready. But since our cupcakes are still hot, we are going to pop this into the fridge and let it sit as we wait for the cupcakes to cool down. It's been 15 minutes and the cupcakes are now cooled to room temperature. We are going to get our whipping cream and start frosting the cupcakes. So for the frosting, we are going to need a piping bag and some scissors and a nozzle. We are going to be using the 1M, the open star nozzle. You can use any nozzle that you can get. You can find this in any baking shops. They are available. We are going to pop it in the piping bag and then cut the edge. Make sure that it is open. The paper does not cover the open star. Then right after that, we are going to fill it with the whipping cream. You can see how stable our cream is, so it won't give you a difficult time when frosting your cake or cupcakes. So we are going to fill it halfway. Make sure you remove the air by pressing on and squeezing out a little bit. So for our decoration, we are going to be making rosettes on the cupcakes. So tie this one so that you have a good hold of the piping bag and then start decorating the cupcake. You don't necessarily have to do the rosette. So pipe all the cakes. If you're having a difficult time doing the rosettes, you can also make the roses on the cupcakes. Just make sure you do not leave any blank space. It becomes well filled. That's the way it's going to look like. So we continue with the rest. If you feel that the cream won't be enough, just refill. Also for the cream, we use 250 ml. So you can see this is a lot, which I'm sure will be able to cover all the cupcakes and probably remain. So that you can have some uniformity, we are going to also make this one and put on a star. Our cupcakes are frosted. You can return back the cream. So to make the cupcakes more fancy, we are going to sprinkle these ones on top to give them a good color and also some crunchiness on the cream. Also, if you're going to whip the cream, you do not have to use a hand mixer. You can also use a whisk, a normal whisk. It will take more time, but it will definitely also work the same. For cream, you just have to ensure that you've chilled the cream well so that it stabilizes faster. And our vanilla funfetti cupcakes are ready. We hope that you're going to try this at home. Kindly give us a feedback when you do. We've been using Pneumatic Kitchen Studio. You can find them along James Gishuru Road, and you can also find them on Facebook and Instagram as Pneumatic. You can also follow me on Instagram